Welcome to life in mid-19th century America. Historic Roscoe Village is a living community, nationally recognized as one of America's best places to discover history. And you'll soon see why. Your day in Roscoe Village will be an experience you'll long remember. Roscoe was founded in the bustling years of the 1830s, when passenger packets and freighters plied the waters of the new Ohio and Erie Canal. The canal made the state accessible and opened promising new markets for Ohio merchants. But by the late 1800s, the railroad had sent canals into a slow decline, punctuated by the devastating Great Flood of 1913. Roscoe deteriorated into a sadly neglected relic with a nearly forgotten past. But in the early 1960s, Coshocton industrialist Edward Montgomery and his wife Frances saw an exciting opportunity. With a substantial investment of both their own time and money, they undertook the restoration of historic Roscoe Village. Today, Roscoe is much more than just a restoration. It's very much a living community. Exhibit buildings, stores, private homes, and businesses stand side by side. This is a place to explore, to experience, to savor. Your Roscoe Village tour ticket, available both here in the Visitor Center and at the Toll House, will unlock the past. Begin here in the exhibit hall with miniature dioramas that portray how the canal was built and operated, along with glimpses of everyday canal life, including a Cooper exhibit. Upstairs, Ditches of Destiny is presented in our theater. This award-winning program leads you through the history of the canal era in Ohio. Once in the village, you'll travel back to a time when life moved no faster than a team of horses could walk. The handsome buildings and lush gardens seem as if they've been untouched by the years, but more than 4 decades of commitment have gone into rekindling Roscoe's vitality. The Toll House features an interactive video where you can view the history of any restored building in the village, as well as programs on restoration techniques. There's also a cellar filled with vintage toys. Up and down White Woman Street, craftspeople ply their trades in shops and workrooms. The village blacksmith heats iron in his forge till it's red hot, and then skillfully hammers out wares of function and style to the ringing of an anvil. Next door in the Haycraft Learning Center, the printer is looking for an apprentice. In a shop filled with the earthy smell of ink, you'll print your very own bookmark. Nearby, the village broom squire plies his trade. With each ratchet of the vise, the straw slowly grows into the brooms and brushes once used on passing canal boats and in local homes. The most comfortable home in Roscoe belonged to Dr. Morrow Johnson, the town physician. Experience welcoming 1830s hospitality as you learn about the etiquette of the era and play popular parlor games in this finely furnished house. Downstairs, the smell of burning wood from an open fire mingles with the aroma of delicious home-cooked food. You may even try your hand at household chores. Next door, you might find a costumed interpreter portraying Dr. Johnson, who checks out your aches and pains and demonstrates what the practice of medicine was like during the canal era. You can also roam through a display of period medical equipment and supplies. Across the street is the craftsman's house. In this more modest home of the times, you'll pass through the craftsman's living quarters, bedroom, and a small kitchen. A clicking loom calls out from the rear, where you can help an interpreter weave colorful threads into long rolls of yard goods. The Roscoe School is a place where you can experience the fabled one-room schoolhouse that you've always heard about. You'll find yourself seated at a small desk learning the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic, under the watchful eye of the school's teacher. During the canal era, many families actually lived on their boats. At the Culdersburg Pearl, solidly moored on dry land, you can come aboard and explore a typical 3-cabin canal boat outfitted in great detail. The garden here is one of 10 flower and plant gardens scattered throughout Roscoe, where you can delight in the colors and fragrances of Mother Nature. These were a special love of Frances Montgomery, as she and her husband worked on the village restoration. There are several other attractions that will round out your Roscoe Village adventure. One is a ride on the Monticello 3 canal boat. Setting out from a dock just north of the village, you can enjoy a 45-minute journey on an actual restored section of the Ohio and Erie Canal. You'll soon understand why canal boats have been called the smoothest ride known to man. You should also include a visit to the Johnson Humrick House Museum. Their collections are widely recognized, particularly their Native American, Americana, and Oriental artifacts. Roscoe is truly a living community. As you stroll down White Woman Street, you'll quickly understand just what we mean. Shops and stores call out with unusual offerings and one-of-a-kind gifts. And if your exploring and shopping leaves you hungry, then you've come to the right place. Historic Roscoe Village features fine restaurants with delicious menus from full meals to light snacks. Throughout the year, Roscoe Village also hosts many special events featuring music, celebration, great food, and family fun. Our calendar of events will tell you more. A selection of Roscoe Village Living History Tour tickets are available in the Visitor Center and at the Toll House. We also offer tickets to the Johnson Humrick House Museum. Tickets for the canal boat ride are available here in the Visitor Center or at the boat dock. Our staff will be happy to explain all the options and answer your questions. You're about to leave behind the hustle of modern life and travel back to a small town on the banks of the Ohio and Erie Canal. Your senses will fill with the magic of another time. This promises to be a day you'll long remember.